What if Superman, Earth's greatest hero, is no longer the symbol of hope but a man broken, hunted, and stripped of his powers? In Absolute Superman, Clark Kent is more vulnerable than ever. He's on the run in a universe corrupted by Darkseid's energy, where even Superman isn't strong enough to survive. This isn't the hero you know, this is Superman pushed to the edge. Absolute Superman dives deep into a world where everything familiar about Superman is torn apart. In this absolute universe, which spins off from the core DC multiverse, Superman is not the godlike protector we're used to seeing. From the very first issue, we're hit with a reality where Clark Kent is more alone than ever. This version of Superman isn't the Boy Scout with a secret fortress and an endless well of hope. The comic opens with Superman already in a desperate situation. He's on the run. He's not in control of his powers, and he doesn't have the resources we've seen in traditional Superman stories. No Justice League, no Daily Planet. Not even his closest friends and allies are there to support him. This isolation drives the character in a way we've never seen before. Unlike the regular Superman, who draws strength from his family and the legacy of Krypton, this Superman is left clinging to his homeworld's memory through one symbol, the ashes of Krypton, which form the material of his tattered cape. The cape isn't just a symbol of heroism, but a reminder of what he's lost. It's this grim foundation that sets the tone for Absolute Superman. Unlike the regular Superman, who draws strength from his family and the legacy of Krypton, this Superman is left clinging to his homeworld's memory through one symbol, the ashes of Krypton, which form the material of his tattered cape. The cape isn't just a symbol of heroism, but a reminder of what he's lost. It's this grim foundation that sets the tone for Absolute Superman. In the Absolute universe, things are much darker. The universe is infused with Darkseid's energy, which affects everything, including Superman's powers and his moral compass. Unlike the familiar bright and optimistic Metropolis, this universe feels oppressive, and Superman's very existence is threatened at every turn. What makes this version of Superman unique is his sheer vulnerability. He's no longer the unbeatable alien god. His powers fluctuate, and he has to rely more on his wits and determination. This change is most noticeable in the way his strength and flight seem unpredictable. He's not the all-powerful being we know, and that makes him more relatable, more human. In this universe, Superman faces off against corporations like the Lazarus Corporation, a shadowy organization controlling much of the planet's resources and manipulating governments. Superman's fight isn't just against supervillains, it's against the systemic corruption of Earth itself. He's trying to save a world that doesn't want to be saved, and this brings out the darker, more cynical side of the character. One of the most compelling aspects of Absolute Superman is the emotional toll this life takes on Clark. Jason Aaron, the writer behind this series, has done a fantastic job of showing Superman's internal struggle. This is a Superman who questions whether he can still be a hero in a world that seems beyond redemption. He's seen the best and worst of humanity, and it's that constant conflict, his love for the people of Earth and his growing hatred for their flaws, that defines this story. Superman's iconic costume has also evolved in this universe. He sports longer hair and a rougher, more battle-worn look. This isn't the clean-shaven, perfect symbol of hope. He's rugged, tired, and looks more like a warrior who's been fighting for too long. The stubble and rough appearance reflect his mental state. This Superman is on the edge, pushed to his limits. Krypton plays a central role in shaping this Superman's identity. In the Absolute universe, we get a much deeper dive into Krypton's culture and the significance of Superman's lineage. His suit, infused with Kryptonian technology, is more than just armor. It's a connection to his past. It evolves as the story progresses, representing his struggle between his Kryptonian heritage and his role as Earth's protector. What makes this story stand out is how much it strips away from Superman. His core cast, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, even Batman, are nowhere to be found. Aaron wanted to isolate Superman, to make him vulnerable, and to explore what happens when you take away the support system that keeps him grounded. This approach creates a raw emotional journey that makes you question, can Superman survive when everything he relies on is taken from him? The influence of Darkseid's energy in this universe cannot be overstated. As Superman navigates his new reality, he's constantly fighting against the pull of corruption that permeates the world. This external pressure mirrors his internal conflict as he grapples with whether he can remain a symbol of hope in such a bleak universe. Unlike traditional Superman stories, where Clark Kent is unwavering in his morality, Absolute Superman gives us a version of the character who doubts himself. The impact of Darkseid's influence on the world and its people pushes him to his limits. This Superman is more likely to question his decisions, make mistakes, and lash out in anger, especially when the world he's trying to save seems to be working against him at every turn. As the story builds towards its climax, we see Superman pushed further than ever before. He's not just fighting physical battles, he's fighting for his soul. Can he hold on to the values that make him Superman, or will the darkness of the absolute universe corrupt him beyond recognition? This version of Superman faces an internal struggle that's as compelling as any external villain. The question becomes not just whether Superman can save the world, but whether he can save himself. The weight of being the last of his kind, the expectations placed on him, and the constant failures he faces all culminate in a climactic showdown where Superman must decide who he truly is in this new universe. In the end, Absolute Superman offers a version of Clark Kent that is more human, more vulnerable, and more complex than ever before. He's no longer just the alien savior. He's a man struggling with loss, isolation, and the pressures of being a hero in a world that doesn't want to be saved. If you're a fan of Superman but want to see him pushed to his limits, emotionally and physically, Absolute Superman is a must-read. It's not just another Superman story. It's a reimagining of what it means to be a hero when the world is at its darkest.